The movie is bad. You have known this since minute 12. It is now minute 45 and you are still watching. The dialogue is off. The pacing is weird. The main character keeps making choices no human being would ever make. You check how much time is left. 1 hour and 8 minutes. You sigh. You keep watching. Nobody is making you do this. It is 11 at night. You are alone on your couch and the remote is right there. You can end this movie in the time it takes to blink. You don't. Why? Because in the year 1985, an economist at Ohio University did something small and slightly evil with a batch of theater tickets. And he accidentally explained your entire evening. The behavior we are actually talking about here is not really about movies. Movies are just the cleanest place to catch yourself doing it. Because with a movie, the investment is only time. Nobody is watching. You can walk away with zero consequences. And you still don't. That is the interesting part. There is a name for this. Behavioral economists call it the sunk cost fallacy. It is what happens when the amount you have already put into something starts making the decisions for you, even when the smart move is to stop. Okay, so the story. 1985. Ohio University. Two researchers, Hal Arkes and Catherine Bloomer, want to prove that people are bad at giving up on things, so they do something clever. They partner with the campus theater. Season tickets to the university plays are going on sale, and they set up 3 different prices, randomly assigned to the first 60 people who walk up to the ticket booth. Some pay full price, $15. Some get a small discount, $13. Some get a big discount, $8. Same theater, same seats, same place. The only difference between these people is what they paid to get in. Then Arkes and Bloomer just sit back and count. Over the first half of the season, how many plays does each group actually show up to? The full price people attended 4.11 plays on average. The discount people, around 3.3, which sounds small. Until you remember, these are literally the same tickets to the same shows, in the same seats. The only thing that changed was how much money each person had already lost, and that predicted whether they got off the couch. I want you to sit with that for a second. The plays did not get better because you paid more. The seats did not get more comfortable. But something inside the person who paid $15 was going, "Wells, I paid for it. I have to go." And something inside the person who paid $8 was going, "Hey, it's raining, skip it." That is sunk cost, in the wild, on tape. Okay, but why? Why does the brain do this? Why do we care about money that is already gone? For that we go back a few years earlier to Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, 1979. They publish a paper called Prospect Theory that basically breaks classical economics in half. And their central finding is this: losing something hurts roughly twice as much as gaining the same thing feels good. Read that again, twice as much. Losing $20 is a bigger emotional event than finding $20. Same value, different weight. Now apply that to your movie. You are 45 minutes in. If you turn it off right now, your brain codes those 45 minutes as a loss. A pure, dead loss. Nothing to show for it. And your brain flinches away from that feeling because losses hurt double. But if you keep watching, your brain gets to code those 45 minutes as an investment I am now cashing in. You are not losing the time, you are using the time. Even though, and this is the part I want you to notice, the time is already gone either way. Whether the movie ends in 15 minutes or an hour and 8, those 45 minutes are not coming back. Your brain does not care. Your brain does not want to feel the loss. So you sit there, you watch, you suffer, gently, in HD. And there is a second thing your brain is doing. This one is even weirder. 1927, Berlin. A young psychologist named Bluma Zygarnik is sitting in a cafe with her mentor, Kurt Lewin. And Lewin makes an observation about the waiters. He notices that the waiters can remember in perfect detail every order that has not been paid for yet, table by table, item by item. But the second the bill is paid, the order vanishes from their heads. Gone. As if it never happened. Zygarnik goes, wait, that's actually insane. So she takes it into a lab. She gives participants a batch of small tasks. Puzzles, string and beads, folding paper boxes, simple stuff. Half the tasks she lets them finish. The other half she interrupts them right in the middle. Then later, she asks them what they remember doing. The interrupted tasks, the ones they did not get to finish, are remembered about twice as well as the completed ones. That is the Zygarnik effect. The brain hates an open loop. An unfinished thing sits in your head, humming quietly, refusing to shut up until you close it. So here is your movie. You turn it off at minute 45. That movie is going to bug you for the rest of the night. What was the twist? Did the guy figure it out? Was the dog okay? Even if the movie is bad, even if you did not actually care about the dog, your brain does not want the loop open. But if you sit through the whole thing, it vanishes. You will not remember it in a month. That is the trade your brain is quietly making with you. It would rather pay 2 hours of bad movie than carry an open loop for 1 afternoon. Which brings me to my actual theory. Movies are the perfect trap. If you designed a machine to exploit this specific bug in the human brain, it would look almost exactly like a movie. Look at what a movie does. The investment is felt in real time. Every single minute is a coin dropping into the machine, and you feel each one leave you. The payoff is always potential, because movies are built to hint that something is coming. A twist, a resolution, a punchline. Every scene is a small promise that the next scene will be worth it. Story structure itself trains us to expect the third act to redeem the first two. So you are not just watching, you are waiting. And then there is the exit, which is invisible. Nobody sees you quit. There is no dignity cost, no social judgment, not even a physical action, you just press a button. And yet, the only person you have to negotiate with is you. And spoiler alert, you are terrible at negotiating with yourself. You lose that negotiation almost every time. Slot machines work on exactly these 3 principles. Small investments felt in real time, a promised payoff any second now, and a lever right in front of you that you can walk away from anytime. Nobody walks away, that is not a coincidence. And this thing scales. In 1976, an organizational psychologist named Barry Staw published a paper with one of the greatest academic titles ever written, Knee Deep in the Big Muddy. His finding was this: people who have already committed to a failing course of action do not tend to pull back. They tend to commit more. Read that again, more. Which is how you end up watching not just the bad movie, but its 2 sequels. Because now the sunk cost is not 2 hours, it is 8. And your brain is going, well, if I stop now, I lose 8 hours. If I finish, I have invested 12, but at least I get closure. On a fantasy franchise, you stopped enjoying somewhere around the second act of movie 1. And here is what makes this weirder in 2026. In the old days, the sunk cost was money. You bought a ticket. The $10 was the anchor. That was Arquez and Bloomer's whole point. Now, nothing is at stake financially. Netflix costs the same whether you finish the movie or not. You can turn it off for free. You can turn it off in 1 second. You do not, though. 2 things are going on. First, time itself is now the sunk cost, and time feels more personal than money. Money is a number. Time is a piece of your actual life. You cannot make more of it. So even though nobody paid for the ticket, you are dropping something more valuable than money every minute you sit there. Second, and this one is a little uncomfortable, an algorithm picked this movie for you. Which means turning it off is not just admitting the movie is bad, it is admitting the algorithm read you wrong. Or worse, it read you right, and you are the kind of person who ends up on the couch at 11 at night watching this. Nobody wants to be that person, so you keep watching. To prove you are not that person, and in doing so, you kind of become that person. And now I have to be honest with you about something, because if this video ended at bad movies, it would be a fun video, but a small one. The problem is that the same wiring runs everywhere. It is the book you are 200 pages into that you are not enjoying, and you keep reading because you are 200 pages in. It is the relationship that stopped being good 3 years ago, but you have been together for 6 years, and starting over feels like admitting the last 3 were a mistake. It is the degree you are finishing because you already started, the job you are staying in because you have already put 5 years into it, the friendship you have quietly drifted from, but keep forcing coffee dates for because you have been friends since school. The bad movie is the harmless version, it is the rehearsal. Same wiring, tiny stakes, and most of us fail the rehearsal. That is not a failure of intelligence. Some of the smartest people I know have spent years on things that stopped serving them a long time ago. It is a failure of a very specific, very human wiring. The wiring that says, if I finish, it will not have been wasted. And that right there is the lie. The lie your brain tells you every single time is that finishing turns wasted time into invested time. That if you just push through, if you just get to the end, if you just close the loop, the past will not have been for nothing. But the past was always going to be the past. The 45 minutes are gone. The 3 years are gone. The 5 years at the job are gone. Nothing you do in the next hour makes those hours come back. Finishing does not refund you. There is no ending that pays you back for the middle. The only real question ever is not what the last hour was, it is what the next hour is. So the next time you are on the couch at 11 at night, checking how much time is left, ask yourself something small, and then let it get bigger. What are you still watching, just because you started?